In this tutorial, we would be taking a look at the AutoCAD 2027 interface. Before we start this tutorial, I would urge you to open the file introduction.dwg, which I have already provided to you in the resources section of this video. It's a floor plan of an office building, and you can see the grids, the dimensions, the desks, the chairs, etc. Make sure you are in the Model tab, bottom left corner of your AutoCAD. In this particular video, we are going to take a look at the Applications menu and the Quick Access Toolbar. We are going to dive into the interface a bit deeper so that you can see the functionality and how you can use it to your advantage. The application menu, where is that in the AutoCAD interface? Well, if you look in the top left corner of your screen, you will see a red square with a white A on it up here. So it's this one here. There's the application menu there. There's a little flyout arrow next to it. If you click on this flyout arrow, you will see you are now in the application menu. Now, it may look like there's a lot of stuff going on in here. There isn't really. It's all just basic things that allow you to work with AutoCAD. So you will notice we can open up a new file. We can open up an existing file, and we can even save our file. We can save as and save it as lots of different file formats. So we can save it out as a drawing template and save it out as a drawing standards file. If we come down the menu a little further, DWG convert is a very useful command. It allows you to convert your DWG file format. All of the exercises mentioned in this training are saved in AutoCAD 2013 format. You might want to convert it to a more earlier version of AutoCAD for someone with an earlier version of AutoCAD to use the file. That's what DWG convert does. I can also import files such as PDF and other file formats. I can export out to many different file formats such as DWF, DWFX, 3D DWF, PDF, DGN, and other file formats. If I want to publish my drawings, there's a publish option. Now this is very cool. You can actually 3D print 3D models from AutoCAD. I can archive my files. I can e-transmit my files by sending them in, say, a zip folder with all the necessary files and DWGs that I need. I can email a drawing. I can share a view of the drawing, and I can also share a drawing using the AutoCAD Web and AutoCAD Web Mobile using that little paper plane that shares a link to the current version of the drawing, including any external references. If I want to print a file, I can go in and do a preview. I can do a page setup. I can even manage my plotters that might be attached to AutoCAD. And in the drawing utilities here, lots of tools for you to investigate. So you can set your drawing units, you can audit your drawings, you can check your drawing status. If I come down a bit further, you will notice Drawing Recovery Manager, that will display the drawings that may need to be recovered after a program or system failure, so you can recover the files even if they are corrupted. So there's some very useful tools here. Notice that I can also close the current drawing or all of the drawings if I have got more than one drawing open in this particular session of AutoCAD. Now you'll notice there's an options button as well. Now just before I jump to that, I'm going to go back up here over here and just have a look at the recent documents because I can do this by ordered list or by access date or by size or by type. I can also change the look here by clicking on the small flyout over here and change the look to large icons, small icons or large images. Let's take a look at the same. Currently you are seeing in small icons, this is large icons, this is small images and this is large images. When you are in the large images view, when you hover the mouse on the drawing, it will give you further information of that drawing. I prefer clicking on this and selecting small icons as the view. Notice that there is a pin symbol next to each file name. If you are using these drawings regularly, you can click on the pin and it will appear in the list. Otherwise, that list is always updating with the most recent documents. Now let's go back to the options button and click on it. This will open up the options dialog box. Now there's a lot of stuff going on in the options dialog box and you don't really need to mess around with. Basically, this is all your options that allow AutoCAD to function. If I go into the Files tab, that's where all the file folders are when AutoCAD is installed. So you have got things like the support file search, working support file search path, trusted locations, etc. If I expand support file search path by clicking on this plus icon, you can see that there's a lot of work going on with that. If I go to display by clicking on this display tab over here, you can see lot of options relating to your display settings. If I click on open and save, here you can see that I have customized it to save the file in AutoCAD 2013 format. Then you have plot and publish. User preferences is where you can give preferences relating to the standard Windows behavior. Anything that I want to change involving selection is within the Selections tab. I can even set up different profiles that have different settings within AutoCAD by clicking on the Profiles section. So there's lots going on there in the Options dialog box. Again, it's another thing to investigate, but just be careful because a lot of those settings are default settings. I'll give you an idea of that. If I click on the Display tab, the crosshair size you can see is by default 5. But if you make it bigger, something like this, then click on Apply, then click on OK. Now the default crosshair size has increased. If I want to make it back to its original size, I'll right click and select Repeat Options. Over here, I can click on this crosshair size and make it back to 5 and then click on apply and then click on OK and I'm back to my default size of 5 units for the cursor. So that's the options dialog box covered as part of the applications menu. What about the quick access toolbar? Well, that exists at the top of the screen over here. It gives access to the command you might use regularly, such as new, open, save as, and even plot. There are also the two most incredible options, that is undo and redo. You can also share your files like I mentioned in the application menu as well. There's a quick icon there to share your files too. Now, if you look, there's a little white sort of drop down arrow icon. If I click on that, it allows me to customize the quick access toolbar. So anything that's ticked there is displayed on the toolbar already. Select layer. Now you can look at layers in the quick access toolbar, which means that you don't have to go into the layers panel in the home tab on the ribbon to view the layers menu. Basically, it means you can be on any tab and the layers menu will still be active in the quick access toolbar. Jump back to the home tab on the ribbon and keep your layers switched on the quick access toolbar. It will always be a very handy option to have it on. That's all about the application menu and the quick access toolbar. We'll see you again in the next lecture.